This is Leaf Life. All things cannabis for all people. Now, Ricker and the Bearded Lorax.
We publish a free magazine called The Leaf that is available in print in 13 states at your local cannabis retailer and also available online at leafmagazines.com. I'm Mike Ricker, your host of Leaf Life, with my co-host Wes Abney, also known as the Bearded Lorax.
I speak for the trees.
And there's AJOG.
Aloha, hola, OGs.
And Mary J. White.
The smoking female.
Hey.
With the lockdown in the rearview mirror, people are flourishing outside and taking the court. But for the first time in decades, it is not to play on the tennis court. So, is the craze worth all the racket? Or is this just the next racketball? This is pickleball.
Oh, yeah. Pickleballing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Our first segment, America's fastest growing sport. And our second segment, serving stoned. But before we get educated, we've got to get medicated. So, let's get stoned.
Let's go, baby.
Right on, AJ. So wherever your day has led you, now it's time to fire up, chew up, or drink up, whatever it takes to get in the mood as we introduce this show's Greg the Guinea Pig.
Hi, I'm Greg, and Ricker used to try his weed out on me. But now it's someone else's turn to be the guinea
That's right.
pig.
Hey, actually, this one is a Greg, Wes.
Oh, you're right.
He's Greg the Guinea Pig in shape, form, spirituality, metaphysically.
Thanks.
That's right. So Greg James is the founder and owner of Marijuana Venture Magazine. Great friend of ours. Actually, his offices are right down the street from Leaf HQ. And he's a pickleball enthusiast. Greg James, welcome to the Leaf Life Podcast.
Thank you very much, and I'm happy to be here.
All right. So now let's spin AJ's wheel to see what's in AJ's stash.
Now, what's in AJ's stash?
What could it be, guys?
What could it be? Who knows? By the way, I think today, AJ, we're going to call in a pinch hitter because Greg's not smoking. He's got to go publish a magazine.
Oh, that's right.
All right. I guess it's
And now, stepping up to the plate, here's today's
Oh, she wants to play with my ball?
This could happen.
Okay.
Okay. Now we got a pinch hitter. Looks like, AJ, you're the one who's going to be puffing. What do you got in that stash?
So we got some Devi Cannabis today. It's Humboldt grown. If y'all know, Humboldt grows the best.
Yeah.
Arguably, of course, but we love our herb from Humboldt. So this is called Soap.
Soap.
Let's go, you guys.
It starts with a Z. Soap.
26% THC. That's on point with some naturally awesome grown herb.
Just so you know, we don't care about the THC level.
I like the THC level. I pay attention.
We don't care.
We don't
CBDs, THCs, terps.
Yeah, I want to know about the terp level, the CBD level, the CBG level. CBG is my cannabinoid. But THC is very important. Let's be real. Let's make a point here.
Yeah.
There needs to be THC because it carries the molecule of CBD, CBG, whatever, to your endocannabinoid receptors.
Exactly.
THC levels are really irrelevant, in my personal opinion, when you get past 20% or whatever, because then it's the other elements that give you that uplifted buzz.
Yeah.
But you got to have some THC. But 70% THC,
Stupid.
I feel like once you get past like 25 or 30, it's like sunblock.
Yeah.
Right? They say 30's good. That's all you really need. 50's overkill. 100, you're spending too much money for it. It's kind of the same with THC, right?
Well, let's check in with AJ, who's smoking that high THC.
Hey, well, look at her. She's
Wow.
It's Devi, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
DEVI.
This Devi soap is bomb.
Okay.
I'm going to put this in my shower next time I'm in the shower. We're smoking on some soap.
Zoap. Down in LA, I went to the Zoap Olympics. Right, it's called the Zoap Olympics. And it's a cannabis competition because these days all the heady strains start and end with a Z. So it's not Skittles. Why is that, Wes?
It's because of trademark copyright issues and the weed industry trying to be cool.
Oh, there's that.
Maybe if we called pickleball pickleballs with a Z.
Well, and
like Dragon Ball Z.
Into it.
Hey.
Like Dragon Ball Z, Wes?
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Well,
Is that
I
where it came
noticed-
from? Yeah.
I noticed that you have two sizes of balls there.
Yeah. Were you trying to be funny or
No,
what?
I was trying to lead you into talking about your balls.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm
Wait.
sorry. No,
Mary loves balls.
My balls or these balls?
Yeah.
The pickleball.
Okay, yeah.
Well, those
sorry.
are kind of wiffle balls. Let's talk about pickleball. So, Greg, you're holding up, if you're watching on our YouTube channel at Leaf Life Podcast V2, he's holding up his head racket.
It's a paddle.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a
paddle.
paddle.
It's a paddle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
like
here's the
paddles.
question. At what point do you eat pickles?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Do you know where the name came from?
No, man.
The people who invented it, their dog's name was Pickle.
Oh.
And that's, It
No
was
kidding.
invented on Bainbridge
I was
Island.
going to say
It
Bainbridge
was here in
Island.
Washington?
Yeah.
It's a state sport.
It's a whole big thing.
It is.
So Bainbridge Island here in the
And
state
Bill
of...
Gates was one of the first guys to play it, believe it or not, because he was their neighbor.
Oh, there
This
you
is-
go.
wow.
On Bainbridge. But
On
Bill
Bainbridge.
Gates lives in Medina.
They had a house there, though.
They had
God,
And
of
they were
course.
fri- yeah,
probably
they were
got
good
50
friends.
houses.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
They might even own the whole island.
But we're here in Seattle. We broadcast from the south end of Seattle in Georgetown. But in the area, you have a Puget Sound. It's a big body of water. If you take a ferry across the sound, you'll get to Bainbridge Island, which is an affluent area of the Seattle area. And there's no surprise that people probably took their tennis court, shrunk it, and created pickleball.
Well, actually, what they did was they took a badminton court and made it lower.
Nice.
So it has
Okay.
the same size as a badminton court.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And it's done on a hard court.
Correct.
Like what a tennis hard court is, which is a mix of like concrete and like some spongy stuff.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit
Interesting.
soft. And then it is a wiffle ball. Like it's a plastic solid with holes.
Yeah.
So the ball doesn't bounce a lot.
No,
like
it
a tennis
bounces.
ball.
It wouldn't work in
It doesn't spring.
It wouldn't work on a grass court. That's for sure.
see.
Oh, okay.
But they bounce pretty well. I mean, there are
Bit of
two different
buoyance.
balls here.
You just love saying that, don't you?
I have two different balls. No,
We're such children.
Most people do.
This is an indoor ball which has bigger holes.
Okay.
A little softer. This is an outdoor ball which has smaller holes and travels faster. These are a little harder.
And they're different colors. Now, Wes and I both grew up playing tennis competitively. We both played at the college level. So, we look at something like pickleball, and earlier I brought up racquetball in the intro, and then you've got handball, which is something completely different because you're not playing with a racket, but racquetball never got any respect.
It's dead. It's
Yeah.
a dead sport.
It died.
Dead sport. And they
Well-
had these indoor courts and everything, and it was a good way to get a sweat.
Yes.
But, tennis is still, I want to say, thriving worldwide, not in America so much because we haven't had a champion tennis player in, since Andy Roddick won the U.S. Open in the early
the
2000s?
Williams sisters.
Yes.
Oh, Serena, yes.
You're
Thank
right.
you, Mary.
Like
Say
the
that.
best tennis player ever
Well, I think
in women's.
Yes.
tennis
Amen.
is a very hard sport to learn.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. It's right there with golf in terms of like the amount of hours.
Wow.
But kind of unlike golf,
Maybe
tennis is not fun if you don't know how to play it.
Right.
You just end up, so it's got a really high learning curve. And pickleball is something that people go out who've never played a racket sport before, and within a couple days they can pick it up and have enough
okay.
skills to have fun.
Yeah.
And it's something where you can have mixed levels of like someone who's good and someone who's not so good, and you can still have fun because it's a different sport. Now, of course, if you're competitive, you want to compete with people at your
Yeah.
level.
Sure.
But it is something, whenever I go to pickleball courts, I see old people, I see young people, I see couples, I see parents with kids.
Awesome.
And they're taking tennis courts and they are turning them into pickleball courts.
Right.
Interesting.
All over the place.
Yeah, if you go up to Green Lake, they've turned the tennis courts up there into pickleball courts. And it's
Very
really
famous,
cool
spot
because,
in Seattle.
yeah, up there they have the stacks where you're waiting. They have the paddles arranged by your skill level. So
What do you mean stacks while you're waiting?
well, so they have, I think, 8 courts up at Green Lake, right?
Okay.
And, they're very popular. In fact, I would recommend Green Lake. It's a really cool scene. There's like Rastafarian players up there, and there's
Awesome.
house music going.
Yes.
It's cool.
There's a walkway around
Shout
the
out to
entire
the
lake.
island.
There's a rec center. There's basketball courts. It's a really fun area.
is.
You can kayak, I believe, in the lake as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Hey, by the way, Led Zeppelin played at that little amphitheater
Did they?
in the
No way.
1970s.
In the
Yeah,
old days,
like
yeah.
on their first album, they were
Yeah.
coming
Must have
through
been
Seattle. They have pictures. You can look it up online. Led Zeppelin
Epic.
playing Green Lake.
Wow.
Wow.
And
nice.
Jimi
Well,
Hendrix.
that's another
Dun,
story, but I
dun.
saw Led Zeppelin in the Coliseum in '73, and that was
So did-
amazing.
My
So did
man.
I.
Yeah.
Wow.
By the way, Jimi Hendrix did not play Green Lake.
I'm
But
jelly.
he's from Seattle.
Right.
No,
Go
I-
ahead.
So The stacks there's always a line to play pickleball.
Yeah, what I was going to say was at Green Lake and those courts there, the people put their paddles down in the waiting stacks, right? And they arrange them by skill level. So the ones where the handle are kind of pointed one direction are for novices, and then they have intermediate, then they have advanced and expert. But most people play as either intermediate or intermediate or advanced.
Are you advanced?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell
yeah.
Is there a difference in the rackets or just?
Well, this racket, for example, is about $150, I think.
Is it graphite or something?
They go all the way up to $300.
And why are they ranged in there? You said from beginner to.
Well, what I mean is, so people stack the rackets from the nets back, kind of, right? So when you get there, if there's already a bunch of people waiting, they put stacks of 4, right? People play doubles.
I see.
And so just so experts aren't playing with beginners, you put your racket in a certain position to indicate your skill level.
Yeah.
And to say, like, I got next. Like, I got next game.
Got it.
Yeah.
There's some serious etiquette, you guys. I like
it's cool,
this.
but
Thank
not
you
all
for...
places do that, you know? I mean, but it's good when they do, because then you're not playing with a beginner if you're an expert.
Is there a cute outfit?
You know, some, I mean, some of the gals wear really cute tennis outfits.
For you, not the gals.
Oh, for Greg? No,
Mary's
Mary.
interested in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mary
never
thinks you're cute, by the way. That's what she's trying to say. Hey, Greg, now it's time for you to play more Stone than the Stones, brother. You ready?
Oh.
Let's
Few
go.
people have done more hard drugs than the Rolling Stones.
What's the secret?
And live to tell the tale.
You take one of these, you smoke a little of that.
This is more Stone than the Stones.
By the way, AJ is wearing a Jimi Hendrix Bold as Love t-shirt.
It's my girl.
She's rocking out. This is the rock show.
Does anyone know the history of this T-shirt right here?
Of the Jimi Hendrix. Well, it's an album cover for Bold as Love, which is my favorite Hendrix album.
So coming from
super psychedelic, by the way.
Coming from a creative design background, I learned that Jimmy actually had this commissioned. He wanted it to represent some of the Native American Indian culture that he's from, that his mother's bloodline was connected to. So he had a commission, and he mistakenly told them, please, surround me with Indian elders and ancestors and kind of bring some Indian spirit into it. Well, they kicked back a Hindu indie design because the clarity at the time, Native American and Indian, that wasn't yet like an emphasis, right? So this is what happened. You could see the Garfunkels there too.
You've got Ganesh on there and all
Ganesh
all the hits.
There you go.
Badass.
Yep. And he decided that it was beautiful as is. As a true creative would, he said that was the inspiration and the spirit you were following. I'm in, brother. So, boom, that record album cover.
Recommendation, do yourself a favor, eat a handful of mushrooms, put on some headphones, and go listen to Axis Bold as Love by Jimi Hendrix, and your life will be changed. All right, but let's transition to the Rolling Stones. True or false, Greg? This is all about Keith Richards.
Okay.
During a 2002 show in Michigan, while wearing a G-string, Keith jumped on top of a bouncer's shoulders and proceeded to gyrate his hips, thighs, and pubic area against the bouncer's head, neck, and face. True or false?
I would say false.
He's absolutely right. That was Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. I knew that too. Yeah.
You knew Marilyn Manson? Okay, cool.
Were you the bouncer?
No bueno.
I got to rub the back of my neck.
All right, number 2. In 1969, here at the Edgewater Hotel in beautiful rainy Seattle, Keith's entourage discovered that you could catch mud sharks from the safety of their rooms because the hotel is on the water, as you guys know. Then, when some eager naked groupies got feeling a little frisky, Keith performed an unforgettable act with the two. True or false?
Sounds.
Well, that sounds like the Led Zeppelin.
He's right.
Jimmy Page deal. Okay, yeah.
This man
That was
knows
Jimmy
his
Page.
stuff.
And those, by the way, were dogfish.
There you go. He knows
They
the
have
fish.
spines.
Well, I know I've been
This
there, done
man
that.
knows his stuff.
What did he do with them? Did he stick it somewhere?
Yeah, he did.
Go look it up online,
I've
Wes. I'm
often-
not going to say it.
I've often wondered
famous.
if that woman still lives in Seattle.
Oh, right.
I mean,
Hey, Greg wants her number.
She's married.
No, I mean,
She's a Leaf Life listener.
She's
but
got
I mean,
grandkids, man.
Everybody knows that story around here,
Yeah.
and she's got to be kind of in her 60s or 70s
She's
now.
probably
The 70s.
evangelical Christian
Yeah.
now.
Okay, now,
A
Mary,
true
is
stoner
a
thought.
fish better than a hamster? if you're gonna,
It
you know.
depends on
gross.
where you're putting the livestock.
Okay. I mean, because the flesh is gonna wiggle.
Yeah, the hamster's gonna gnaw, and that's gonna suck.
Oh my. I don't
And
know.
number 3, when asked by a reporter if he snorted his father's remaining ashes with cocaine, Keith honestly replied that he had indeed snorted the ashes, but not with cocaine.
True.
That's correct.
Oh, triple hitter. A triple
3 for
hitter
3.
right here.
Good job, Greg.
Triple
You're
hitter.
good, Greg. Damn.
If you want to discover cannabis news, reviews, entertainment, and culture, and explore every Leaf magazine at your convenience, search leafmagazines.com. Coming up in our second segment, we'll dive into serving stoned and how cannabis plays a role in pickleball, if at all. And we'll get another spin of AJ's wheel and kick it all off with another episode of Not for Nothing with Mary J. White. Leaf Life continues in just a moment.
Your hosts for Leaf Life are Mike Ricker and Wes Abney. Leaf Life is produced by Mike Daly. Some of the music heard is provided by purple-planet.com. Every bit of cannabis you use is female, so please respect the ladies.
Leaf Life is brought to you by Leaf Nation, featuring Alaska Leaf, Oregon Leaf, Northwest Leaf, Northeast Leaf, Maryland Leaf, Amsterdam Leaf, and California Leaf. On the shelf now in your local retailer.
These products have intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming. Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug. There may be health risks associated with consumption of this product. For use by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children.
Some of the wardrobe, including Ricker Wes's sick lids, is provided by Grassroots California. Check out the dopeness at grassrootscalifornia.com.